So guys, this is my review for Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Season 2 Episode 4. And with that guys, let's dive right into this review. So the title of the episode was called Tonight. It's basically more so centered around, like the episode was centered around like uh, more dialogue-ish um, amongst the characters. One of the things I definitely want to note is Zenitsu was not in this episode. I thought he was going to be because of the fact that he got captured, but more than likely he will be in episode 5 next week when we get around to it. I definitely will say that my reaction and review videos to episode 5 will be late just because I work next Sunday. I work every other weekend, so it kind of sucks that whenever I do work, that I'm unable to react to the episodes and even do my review videos and stuff. So I would kind of do them at work, but at the same time, yeah, can't kind of don't feel too comfortable doing that. Never have. Um, Even though I've done a couple at work, but still uncomfortable doing them. But this episode was definitely, it had its comedic side, definitely for sure. I feel like they're constantly applying that, even in this how serious this episode was. There was definitely some comedic side, more so from Tanjiro's section, including Inosuke's side of things, just because of their dialogue that they were having on top of the roof. I did enjoy the fact that Tanjiro, I mentioned this in my reaction, like Tanjiro felt left out of some stuff because we're finding out that way back in season 1, during their Wisteria, when they were in the Wisteria forest and they're doing their training and stuff, that they, where Inosuke was talking about the mark that he gets on his hand. You have to, pump out your fists and stuff like that, and the mark will pop up. Tanjiro like I said, I felt like Inosuke, Tanjiro was feeling left out. Now, well, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't season 1. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. And maybe it was season 1 when they did apply this again. Inosuke is the one that does mention this, so he has a little purplish colored mark pop up on his skin. Tanjiro has it happen to him, but it's like he's like, oh my gosh, like I didn't never notice that this happened, and like I said, he just felt kind of left out. But during his conversation with the other Orion of the house that he's living in, um, when he approaches her about um, like going after the demon and stuff, and he's talking to her, she notices his the change of his outfit into his Demon Slayer outfit. But that conversation was also hilarious because of the fact that she tells him that when Tanjiro was like, yeah, you know, I've been basically playing a girl, but I'm actually a guy. I'm a boy, blah blah blah. I'm a demon slayer, blah blah blah. She's like, well, I already knew that you were a guy, and he was like, he's like, eh, like what? Like no, like there's no way. How could you tell? She was saying like, per the look, way that your facial structure is. Basically, she was just saying like, I could tell just from your facial, by the way that your face looks, that you were a guy. She was just saying like she wondered why he was playing a girl, portraying a girl. She just never really questioned it. She never really pulled him to the side or anything. Never kicked him out. She was like more cool and stuff. And that's the thing. Like during this whole scene, even before Tanjiro showed up, I thought that the Orion lady for the house that Tanjiro was living in, I thought that she was the demon. I thought that because she was having a conversation with two other little girls, and I thought it was like a flashback or something to where the demon Orion was like, this was before she became a demon, but that wasn't the case because Tanjiro was on the outside, but with listening in. The door was kind of cracked, and he was listening in on the conversation. So again, like I said, I thought that scene was of them showing us a flashback. That wasn't the case. Same thing with last week's episode too. There was a scene that I thought was a flashback, and it wasn't the case at all. Just current events. Um, so, but again, funny moment. Tanjiro thinks that she didn't realize that he was a boy, but she knew all along. And he tried to, he was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like how could you tell? But at the same time, once he leaves, that's when a demon steps in and basically attacks her. Uh, and she's like, she must have overheard, or just probably, maybe, I want to say, heard a little bit of the last end of the conversation, because she did tell Tanjiro that she was leaving before the demon showed up. that she was heading somewhere, basically like to be with somebody who she was in love with. I think that's what she was saying, if I remember correctly. So, once the demon pops up, and she's like, I gotta devour you before you leave, isn't that right? Blah, blah, blah. And then we get again, like I said, we get the conversation between Inosuke and Tanjiro on the roof, and they're, Tanjiro's talking about Zenitsu disappearing. Well, sorry, Inosuke's talking about Zenitsu disappearing, and Tanjiro's trying to get clarification, stuff like that. But then that's when Tengen pops up and says, I apologize for getting you all into this. Zenitsu's not, he realizes that Zenitsu's been taken, and he's just like, y'all two need to do your due diligence, and let's prepare to, try to find this demon and try to kill it as soon as possible. So that's when we get to nighttime. That's when it shifts to night. That's when Tanjiro's out searching for the demon. We also get a little spot with Inosuke, a little funny spot where he's fully re-gearing up as a demon slayer, and he jumps into the air in his room, and his head pops through the ceiling, and he calls for these mice, and these two muscular mice, they're real muscular, pop up with his weapons. He's like, I need my weapons, servants, and they come huffing and muscling and all of that with his weapons. I thought that was pretty funny. He said he's glad that he was able to get them to be a part of his, his team, and he literally grabs his swords. There's a woman behind. I think the one lady, I forgot specifically who she is, but she looks familiar. She sees him don his boar head, and then he jumps out the room and heads outside. But Tanjiro is the one that actually comes in contact with the demon as he's out. I want to say he realizes the scent of the demon, so he ends up going back to the room of the Orion lady that he's under, and that's when he comes in contact with her, and we see that she has, I want to say she's more than likely halfway devoured the Orion lady. Not too sure specifically, but that's what it looks like, because you can only see half of her body, so it's like she was taking her time to eat her or something like that. But she basically tells Tanjiro, like, you're a demon slayer. There must be how many are you here? Is there a Shura with you? This, that, and the third. And Tanjiro's, he's definitely struck by the look of her. He's in fear. It froze him up, and then that's when the demon attacks him. And he literally says it when he gets out of the shock and awe moment, because he gets hit and gets pushed across the way, where he lands, and he's like, I can't move my body because I'm afraid. And once he kind of like clears his head, even though his body, he keeps telling himself, I can't, my body's numb, I can't move my body because it's in fear. He still says, I need to clear my mind so that I can be able to move forward. But then the strap, because again he's carrying Nezuko, the strap breaks, so he had to catch Nezuko in the box, and he's just like, like, I need to basically tell himself, like, I need to protect Nezuko, I need to protect the box. Like, I totally understand. I thought that the demon was going to attack him here even more, because he even says it, like, the demon attacks me again, then that's putting Nezuko in danger, but I need to protect her. I thought the demon was going to attack him here, but that's not the case. Basically becomes like a Western standoff a little bit here. He puts Nezuko to the side, and they jump into the middle of the street here. But it's like I said, it's like a Western standoff here towards the end of the episode. And they're just like having a little bit of dialogue and talking, but it's more, like I said, it's more so just like them staring at each other in preparation to attack each other. And I believe that, per next week, because it's the end of the episode, that it's really going to go down. Now they did fight in the air. I will say that much, that I did like the fact that they fought in the air. Tanjiro was able to do some good enough defense, blocking, and even get a little bit of a swipe in. But at the same time, the body of the Orion lady was still locked into the clutches of the demon's clothing that she uses to attack people with and devour them with, eat them with. it's literally right where it's like how you see the image here, that body part of the person is literally laying on Tanjiro's right side on the ground. So there's that too. So yeah, I'm just like, oh man, this is some cheese. Um, but all in all, I did indeed enjoy episode 4, a good amount of it. I'm looking forward to next week. Again, like I said, Zenitsu was not in this episode. I'm hopeful that he'll be popping up in next week's episode. Maybe Inosuke will be the one to find him, because I feel like here in this fight, because Tanjiro believes that he can't really defeat her, because he also says like, without my friends being here, am I able to defeat her? That I'm believing that Tengen's going to be the one to show up and save him and then fight the demon, while Zenitsu's the one is going to be the one to find Inosuke. Excuse me, Inosuke is going to be the one to find Zenitsu, wherever he may be. It might be closer than we think in this area here, but we'll see what happens. But with that, guys, I enjoyed episode 4. What did y'all think of episode 4? Leave some comments in the comment section below. Let's talk about some things. What was on your mind when you first sat down and watched it for the first time? But other than that, I will hopefully talk to y'all next time with more Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba videos. Peace, guys.